when you said your body had broken down the first time, and you were told you would never play rugby again, what I'm really interested in, I think our audience would be interested in knowing, is how you managed to bounce back, because we're here to ask you about resilience, which may be mental or physical. And so are there any lessons that you picked up during that period in your life that you would like to share?
Yeah, and it is massively on reflection. I started this, I had a complete breakdown about 2 years ago, and it was around chronic PTSD, and I did a walk around Wales, and I had a lot of lads joining me for this walk, and we just got talking around stuff, and working with Saracens at that point, they use the wolf as their sort of metaphor, for quite a few different things. The strength of the pack, and and the strength of the wolf is the pack, and that philosophy really sort of resonated with me. But more so around the sort of the two wolf sort of story. Inside you, there's this idea. There's two wolves. The angry one and the peaceful one, and you question around, what sort of got me there. And as I said, this is all on reflection. The whole sort of my earlier life, I guess, having some genuine challenges there, joining the military. I mean, the parachute brigade was tough, really tough, and you have to lean into that more aggressive wolf all the time, and there's no backward step, and that's the mentality. You're either on the bus or you're off the bus, and if you want to be part of this group, this parachute brigade, this awesome organisation, that you have to make sacrifices, and you have to come to terms with pain, your own well-being, and that's in the ethos. Everything's more important than you, the mission, your comrades, and you accept that, and the history of the brigade. It's not that old a brigade. You just got to look back to the Second World War and the sacrifices those guys made, and it's inferred, around everything you do. But actually being in that sort of environment for such a long time, and with the rugby, you just learn to just keep putting one foot in front of the other. So I led into just that aggression, really. I'm just fucking not going to take this. I'm just going to get on and do it. And it got me through. And this is where now actually with Saracens, it's incredible, because you get a totally different idea of how to get to elite, and that's around more the caring side of the wolf, So they lean a lot into the community, because they try and replicate those relationships, you have in the military, those tight bonds. So it's getting to know people, getting to want to go the extra yard, and then when you go training, you lean into that tough wolf. So it's really about having the balance between the two, where for us in the military, it's just, at the time, it was just leaning into one and just, going through, and it gets you through.
I get the impression that you're quite self-aware in terms of your own coaching now, that you can lean in on your own experiences from the past of the military, but how that meets with the civilian world, of course, is very different, and people respond very differently today.